Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Best stock up while you can.
Is something the matter, Karen? You seem perturbed.
Don't know. How clever of you to notice. But yes, something's come to my attention, and I'll be damned if I know what to make of it.
Go on.
It's probably quicker if I just show you. Here.
Some sort of crystal. Though, I don't remember seeing one that colour before.
Aye, well, that makes two of us. In all my long years of trading, both over and under the counter, I've never seen anything quite like it. They're calling them dusk crystals, on account of colour.
I see. And they can be used to cast magics.
That they can. Just like their brighter, shinier cousins. Difference is, they don't last as long. After a couple of goes lighting your pipe, they crumble away to nothing. That's how I heard about them. From crystal traders moaning that someone's been flooding the market with dodgy goods. And after asking the right people the right questions, and paying the right price, of course, I managed to get my hands on a sample.
I see why you're perturbed.
Hey, Hope. Do you feel that, Clive?
Yes.
All right, lads, that'll do for today. I said that'll do for today.
Yes, Chief. Yes, Chief.
Let's get this lot back to town, fill our purses and then our bellies. What did you two do now?
Please tell us you bought another lantern.
Stay calm, both of you. Who needs a lantern when you've got one of these? All that work for a single spark. Well, there'll be no more sampling the merchandise today.
That sounded close, Chief. Really close. Really, really close.
Now, lads, what am I always telling you? Good things come to those who run!
Wait for us, Chief!
I've never felt a tremor this far inland before.
Me neither. But then I'd never seen skies like these till a few moons ago, and it's been all change ever since. Come to think of it, the first anyone ever heard of these dust crystals was after you lot came back from the Dominion and brought this bloody weather with you.
Do you think the two things are connected?
Who knows? Could just be that with Drake's tail gone, the black market was running short of the good stuff. The Dominion's mines were the only source of new shards left in Storm after a certain evil outlaw decided to do away with the other mothers. And with the price of decent crystals going through the roof, traders turned to dealing in stuff they'd never have touched before.
The question is, who's selling these crystals and where are they? Wait. This color. They couldn't be from Origin, could they? No, that wouldn't make sense. I saw it form in the sky, and that was long after we returned from the Dominion. But if they didn't come from Origin or any of the other mother crystals, then... does that mean...
that you missed one? Aye. That were my thinking, any road. Another mother crystal we didn't know about.
I'll speak with Joshua. If you're right about this, we need to find it.
And quick, I'd say. On account of which, I'll take this shard over to Tomes for you. Get him to give it a once-over, case it rings any bells.
Right. Thank you.
And I expect you'll be wanting Jill's help with this, too.
Right again. I will. Let me go and find Joshua, and we'll meet you in the shelves. Leviathan the Lost. But why now? After all this time.
Why, what now?
Oh, I'm not sure you'd believe me if I told you.
After all we've been through. I doubt there's anything that could surprise me at this point.
All right then. Rouse Joshua and meet me in the mess. We'll talk there. I see we're all here.
So, what is it this time?
I'm not sure yet. The letter delivered to my chambers omitted a few crucial details.
Do we know its provenance?
That was one of the details it omitted. But whoever the sender was, it seems the Dame held them in high enough regard to point them in our direction.
The Dame? Well, she's not one to waste our time. It must be important.
Important might be an understatement. If the letter is to be believed, Leviathan's dominant is in danger. And someone wants us to save him.
Leviathan?
So the Warden of Water has finally returned. What has it been? 100 years?
More. The Lost moniker dates back at least that long. Even our venerable lawsman would not have been so much as a glint in his father's eye when last the mighty serpent brought his crushing waves to bear upon the realm.
But why the gap? I know it can be a few years before a new dominant's born. But over a century?
Should the dominant of Water's bloodline have been severed somehow, it could have prevented a new dominant from awakening.
But if one has awakened now, he couldn't have chosen a worse time. Every nation in the realm has lost its dominant. If word gets out that there is still one to be had, they will stop at nothing to claim it for their own.
And the twins will be at war again, just when humanity most needs to come together. Did the letter say anything else?
Only that if I wish to know more, we must meet in person. And that the Vale can arrange a meeting.
If nothing else, you can be certain it ain't a trap.
Famous last words. I'm coming with you.
As am I.
Thank you. Both of you. And Otto?
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on things here. Didn't fancy coming anyway.
Thank you. I shall leave the Invincible in your capable hands.
What will it be today? Truth is but a matter of belief. Alas. Well, Clive?
I am.
Naturally. I shall... How may I help you today? Here's the latest information I have. Here you are. The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Joshua, we need to talk. Karen's caught wind of something that I don't think we can afford to ignore.
Aye, that is troubling. Not least because the Undying made no mention of these dusk crystals in any of their recent reports.
So they weren't aware of them either.
Perhaps. Or perhaps they merely deemed them unworthy of my attention. Wrongly, I might add, for I am inclined to share Lady Karen's misgivings.
Then we'd better take her advice and consult Harpocrates forthwith.
To the shelves, then. With our combined insight, I'm sure we'll discern something of use, be it no more than a place to start.
Let's hope so.
There you are. I've taken the liberty of telling these two everything I told you.
Thank you, Karen.
It's hard to believe such a lusterless shard could conjure much of anything. And you truly think this came from a mother crystal? One we never knew existed?
Every other shard in the Twins did. Why should these dusk crystals be any different? Dim though they may be.
We know they first appeared on the black market shortly after Ultima Car's primogenesis, darkening the skies. So might the two be connected? Could the spell have created a new mother crystal, perhaps? A replacement for the ones we destroyed?
What do you think, Harpocrates?
I think there may well be a connection. Yet, if we are to believe that the original Mother Crystals were of Ultima's making, does it seem likely that he would have need of anything so palpably inferior? No. I hazard that it was not Ultima who created these crystals, but humanity. More specifically, our fallen forebears, whose wonders litter the land even now. Legend holds that the fallen challenged the gods in order to win their power, and came tantalizingly close to doing so. It seems only reasonable that they should wish to learn the secrets of the crystals which the gods bestowed upon them.
So they could make their own.
Precisely. You may recall that the tale of the sins of Zemeckis begins with the Colloquy of the Sages, a council wherein humanity sought to uncover the last secrets of the gods before waging their war to learn what little remained. It is perfectly possible that an understanding of how to craft crystals was among their many achievements.
Among their many achievements prior to their fall.
Indeed. The same enlightened souls forged great and terrible weapons called the Iconoclasts, from which icons derived their name, and turned them against each other in the Magitech War. A pointless conflict which served only to make its victors more confident of their right to supplant the gods on high. And when at last they ventured to do so, the resultant imbalance in the ether is said to have been so great that the skies themselves turned black and began to boil. The first recorded Arcade sky, I suspect. Which brings us back to the matter at hand. It is my belief that these shards are the product of a long-slumbering Magitech mother crystal, stirred to life by a similar etheric upheaval to the one which accompanied its creator's fall.
There's only one way to know for sure. We track down whoever's selling them and find their source. Karen, where did you buy this one?
Down in Port Isolde when I was scratching around for supplies. Since the Imperials buggered off and took the tariffs with them, you can find all sorts of interesting stuff on the docks. Go and have a chat with the mercenaries guarding the gates. Your uncle's got some good lads there. You know when to keep a watchful eye and when to turn a blind one. Oh, and take the crystal with you. Might be your key to the underworld.
Thank you. I will.
Shall we then, brother?
I'm coming too. If there is another Mother Crystal out there and it's anything like the others, you'll need all the help you can get.
I was hoping you'd say that. One more time then. Together.
Samuel, slow down! Not bloody likely!
Fuck me. They're fast on their feet.
What's going on here, I wonder?
What indeed? Let's ask.
Excuse me. Who were those men just now?
Bloody troublemakers, that's who. As soon as I asked them to present their packs for inspection, they turned white as a sheet and legged it. I chased them all away from the gates, but they're swift as hares. Still, at least we kept the bastards out. Don't need their kind stirring up any more strife.
And what manner of strife have they been stirring up, exactly?
Hey? Are you joking? This business with the crystals?
Sorry, we've been away for a while. What's been going on?
All right, I'll humor you. After the paltry rations the Imperials left behind dried up, folks started trading crystals out in the open. We turned a blind eye at first. Lord Byron's orders. Way he saw it, it weren't right to deny people the one thing they were all clamoring for. Till the dust started turning up, that is. Dusk crystals, they're called. Ill-favored shards that crack as soon as you look at them. Not that the folk who bought them by the bucket load knew that. And they were baying for blood when they found out. In the end, his lordship had to step in and ban the blasted things. And we've been searching the pack of every trader who's darkened our gates ever since.
I see. And you think the men you were pursuing might have been trading in these dusk crystals?
Why? You in the market for some? Anyway, I wouldn't rule it out. In fact, I put a few gil on it.
We might still be able to catch them.
We might.
If you are heading up that way, you want to keep your sword handy. There's more than dodgy traders plying the roads these days.
Understood. We'll be careful.
If those men were selling dusk crystals, I think it's unlikely that they will risk returning to Port Isolde.
Which means this might be our only chance of catching them. Where are they?
Still some distance ahead, I'd wager. They were making a good pace.
There's another one.
Still no sign of those traders, though.
No. I just hope we haven't lost them.
These blimmin' tremors are scaring off all our customers. The few that weren't scared off by the skies, you mean?
Perhaps one of those merchants has seen something. Forgive me, but did you happen to see 3 men in robes pass this way?
Yeah, I seen them. Poor bastards.
What do you mean?
A gang of nasty-looking brutes was on their trail.
Caught up with them just up the road. Screaming at them they were. Your crystals or your lives and all that. Only the daft buggers kept their crystals and legged it.
In which direction, out of interest?
Up that way.
Towards the Old Hill docks. If it's help they seek there, they won't find any. But perhaps they might find a place to hide.
Let's hope so. And then we can find them before their pursuers do. Thank you. And please, take care on the road. Come on. They're no good to us dead.
Lead the way, brother.
Turn the whole place upside down if you have to. They're here somewhere.
So the bandits haven't found them either. There's still time.
Got company.
Come to war with brigands, brother.
Right. Let's focus on finding the traitors.
You lot took a wrong turn.
Bad luck.
Send his sellswords,
I'll be taking that sword and the rest. This one.
over those crystals!
Don't think I can go on. Chief, me neither. I'll reach. This should be far enough. Chief? They've found us. It's getting so a man can't even catch his fucking breath.
Gentlemen, a word. We understand you've been selling some crystals.
And like I told you, thieving mates, you're not fucking getting them. So you could take your massive sword and shove it.
I'm sure I could, but we're not thieves.
Over here. I can smell the one who shat himself.
If you've got a plan, Chief, tell us you've got a plan. Of course I've got a bloody plan. Good things and all that. Let's start again, shall we? You say you're interested in the crystal trade?
Not exactly. In actual fact, we were hoping to talk about this.
Is that all? Well, then I know just how to help. If you're after the short shifter, he's over here!
Are you mad?
Slippery little pricks. Clinkers on the ground, quick as you like.
Gentlemen, you've got it all wrong. Do we look like merchants? He's the one you want. Just look at what he's got in his hand.
What? Him?
Wait, I'm not.
Do let us know if you need any more help.
They won't get far, Clive.
No, but they'll wish they had.
I'll carve you like a suckling pig and feed you to your fucking dog!
Think of him.
Did you see which way they went?
North. Making for 3 reeds at a guess. After them. If they reach the swamps, we'll never pick up their trail. There was something odd about those 3. They seemed less like merchants and more like...
charlatans? One might argue that a merchant is naught but a mummer without his motley.
Why am I not amused? This one! What did you find, boy?
Clive, judging by the state of the ground, a lot more passed this way than our 3 charlatans.
Another group of bandits?
I doubt they'd leave this crystal behind. Regardless, we're on the right track. Let's pick up the pace.
They hope to pass unnoticed.
We better stick to the swamps.
Get him! Sick him!
All right, lads. I think we finally lost them.
then think again.
Fuck. Persistent bastards, I'll give them that. Friends, I knew those louts were no match for you.
But of course you did. Because you know what we're capable of, don't you? Now, you deal in crystal. Dusk crystal. And we want to know where you got it. So you're going to tell us.
Let's assume for a moment that we are the merchants you're looking for. Why would we tell you where we procure our stock? What kind of shepherd leads a wolf straight to...
Are they getting worse?
Clive, the tower.
Well, that's new.
That's impossible.
Yeah, Chief. Do you think someone else got into the tower?
Quiet, you daft sod!
And what would they find there if they did?
I wouldn't know. I've never been there. Echoes, maybe? Or fallen rubbish? I really couldn't say. The entrance is sealed tight. No way in.
And how would you know that, if you've never been there?
Look! Behind you! An Akashic monster!
If you think I'm going to fall for another one of your cheap tricks...
Clive, trouble.
What? Oh.
Wait, don't you dare!
I don't think Martha would appreciate that thing on her doorstep.
Probably not. Let them run then. I have an idea where they'll be heading anyway. This shouldn't take too long. Nice try. Well, that was ill-timed.
But at least we know what was chasing the merchants.
That's twice we've saved them now.
I don't see anyone. I've had enough of bandits and beasts, Chief. Can't we just go home?
And let those thieving pricks march in and take what's ours?
What's ours? Oh, no. You don't mean...
The Dusk Crystals, aye. Halleck, Marnik, we're going back to that tower if it's the last thing we do.
But the lights, Chief. What about the lights?
First you whine about it being too dark, then you whine about it being too light. Think about how easy it'll be to mine now.
And you're sure they're bound for the tower? When they aren't running away from trouble, they're running towards it.
Do you know anything of the place, Joshua?
Alas, not. I have seen it labelled Sage Spire on some maps, but beyond that, the ruins are no different from any other fallen derelict. Another impenetrable relic of the past.
Not so impenetrable, apparently. Our friends plainly found a way in.
They could be living there, like we do in the Invincible.
Well, the tower is unquestionably large enough to hide 3 merchants. But is it large enough to hide what we seek?
A Mother Crystal.
It would go some way to explain why the area was among the first in Rosaria to fall to the Blight.
Then it's settled. We head to Eastpool and make our approach from the dim. To think there could have been a Mother Crystal here in Rosaria all this time. The wars that could have been avoided.
We still don't know what's in there, Clive. But whatever it is, there is a good reason it has gone unnoticed for so long. The tower sits atop a jagged ridge. Few have ever had occasion to pick their way through the rocks, even before the Blight swallowed them.
The garrison said they take another...
To the Vale it is, then.
Looks like you've got a thirst.
But enough talk.
How about we...
Fancy a peek behind the veil,
I'm looking for a Layla.
You found one. So, will your friends be joining in? Or just watching?
We're not here for your services. We simply want to talk.
What you do with your time is up to you. The price is still the same.
We're here about the letter.
Oh, sorry. I suppose you'll be wanting to know who wrote it then.
Among other things.
Look, I'm just the messenger here. There's only so much I can tell you.
Specifically?
A location. North of town, on the shore of Isle of Feist Bay. There you'll find a tent, and the woman who can answer your questions.
And that's all? Nothing else?
Actually, one thing. There's more than flowers in the meadows these days. So keep that sword of yours to hand.
Does anyone else think it's strange that this woman should prefer to keep to the outskirts of town?
What if she realizes the value of the information she's party to?
And the danger it puts her in.
The tent is where Layla said it would be.
Yes, but who awaits us inside?
It's empty. Why am I not surprised? The boat. No prizes for guessing who that belongs to. The embers are still warm.
So you're Sid.
I suppose I must be. Which means you have me at a disadvantage.
Apologies. I am Shula, tributary of Mysidia, final haven of the Moats of Water.
The Moats of Water.
The very tribe into which it was believed Leviathan's dominant was born. A people notable for their sapphire eyes and ivory hair. Yes, that would be impossible, since the tribe famously...
vanished. Was exterminated. Despite the best efforts of both church and state, we are still very much alive. Though we've managed to keep that fact hidden from good Krieger's faithful for over a century.
Along with Leviathan's dominant.
That wave out there. What do you know of it?
The Surge. Only that it's been there a long time.
Since the fall of Drake's Eye almost a century ago. Some claim the two are connected, but none can speak with any certainty.
So in other words, you know nothing. Not that I'll hold it against you. The wave was raised by Leviathan in an act of rage. Moments before the waters were stayed, and the Icon and its dominant bound within.
And you want us to?
Rescue him. Yes. You see, a little bird told me about a certain outlaw with a singular knack for putting unruly dominants in their place. And ours is about as unruly as they get. For years, we've searched for someone who could hold their own against an Icon. Someone just like you. So what do you say? Will you help us?
What exactly did your dominant do to warrant this punishment?
What did he do? He committed the greatest crime one of his kind can. He was born. But he deserves a better fate than the one my people forced upon him. He deserves to be free.
As do we all. Very well. Far-fetched though your tale may seem, something tells me you speak in earnest. So we will do what we can for your dominant. But first, you will tell us everything you know about him and the means of his imprisonment.
I can do better than that. I can show you. Care to take a trip across the bay? My people await you there.
Lead the way.
All right, you might want to hold on to something. We're coming up on the wall, and passing through can take a bit of getting used to.
I don't see any wall.
Of course you don't. That's the point. It's a glamour woven by our ancestors to keep our village hidden from prying eyes. But don't take my word for it. Watch.
Oh, that was worse than a slug of Bacchus wine.
Clive, the sky.
It's blue, but how is that possible?
You do know what a glamour is, don't you? Ours just happens to work both ways, and a good thing too. I wouldn't fancy staring at those sickly clouds every day. And that concludes our little voyage. We're here. It's a long slog to the village, and a hard one. I hope you're up for a climb.
Finally.
What? You didn't think we'd arrived, did you? The village isn't up here. It's on the other side of the mountain.
Of course it is.
Watch yourself, Sid. This path can be treacherous. If not for the sheer drop, then for the beasts who prowl it.
Thank you for the warning. And please, call me Clive. Sid is an alias.
You will be pleased to learn, Lady Shula, that I have no such aliases.
Is that so, Lord Margrace?
It's all the same to me. then.
Stand back. We'll handle this.
Oh, will you now? Shall I keep my axe and spells to myself then?
Earlier you mentioned spells, yet I see you carry no crystals.
Since when did a bearer ever need crystals?
But then, where is your brand?
Waiting for me in Sunbreck, if I ever get careless.
Then it's in for a long wait.
We're almost at the summit. From there, you'll have a better view of our home. Few have ever set eyes on what I'm about to show you. Just so you know.
This is not what I expected.
Welcome, my friends, to Mysidia.
It's been a long time since I saw the North looking so
alive.
I'm sure you have plenty of questions, but it's been a long journey, and I expect we could all do with a rest. Our humble village is only a short way from here, if you'd care to accompany me. Let's get ourselves in front of a fire, and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
It's beautiful, Shula.
And we aim to keep it that way.
Are those stones glowing?
That's one of the cairns which maintain the glamour. Steer well clear.
If the surge was an act of rage...
One wonders what prompted it.
Could we not have spared ourselves the mountain crossing by landing further north?
In clear view of the bay?
On evening tides.
Does morning's light return?
Open the gates! The tributary is home!
Outsiders? Well, I never.
Look at the size of that dog.
All right now, back to your duties. You'll have to forgive my people their curiosity. We don't get many visitors. Or any, truth be told.
Then we are honored to be the first.
This is quite extraordinary. Like stepping into another world.
So do you believe me now?
You've made it difficult not to, my lady. But how did your people chance to settle here, in the north? Unless I am much mistaken, the moats of water long called the coasts of Southern Ash their home. Until Drake's Horn fell, and the Blight forced them ever inland, where...
We met our doom, along with our dominant. I see you've read the Gregorian Church's account, but perhaps you'd like to hear ours. That building over there is the Witten Hall. It's where my people gather to discuss matters of import. We can speak more inside, once the place is ready to receive you. It shouldn't take long, but you're welcome to explore the village while I see to things.
Thank you. We'll do just that.
be them then.
Don't look like much.
Look.
Intruders!
Oh, do you think he may?
So what do you think of our little haven in the woods? It might not have all the comforts of a southern settlement, but at least it's ours.
And there's a lot to be said for that. It can't have been easy keeping this place a secret.
Not easy, no. We've dedicated our lives to maintaining the glamour that conceals us. Us and Walyas.
This man, Walyas, is he Leviathan's dominant?
That's right. Though he's no man, Walyas is still a baby.
A baby?
Forgive me, but you said that the Dominant and his icon were bound inside the Surge almost a century ago. That would surely make him older still.
It would, if he'd been allowed to age. But the spell robbed the poor bairn of even that.
I'm sorry.
Walyas was the son of my great-grandfather. Leviathan awoke within him almost immediately. But instead of allowing the lad to live out his life as a valued member of the community, my ancestors sought to put his power to other uses. Sadly for them, the Icons sensed their treachery and summoned a wave so large it would have swallowed the entire village if my ancestors hadn't stopped him.
Then it is not the surge that binds the child, but time itself.
Yes.
Forgive me. I'm still not sure I understand.
I'm not surprised. It isn't the easiest thing to explain. Which is why it might be better if I took you to see him. Show you exactly what he has to endure.
That is why we came.
Then let us be off. There's a road that leads north from the village. It'll take us right into the Surge.
Are you bound for the Wave, Tributary?
We are, Delina. Have you spread the word about our guests?
I have. Everyone knows to treat them as family.
You shouldn't have any trouble now, but just in case, I would have you accept this symbol of our people.
That's very kind. I look forward to meeting the family.
The feeling's mutual.
Should the Tributary be indisposed, feel free to ask me any questions you might have regarding the village, and I'll do my best to answer.
Thank you. We will.
Then I bid you good tide.
Our storehouse lies across the bridge. If you're short of supplies, you may find what you need there. Though we will have to ask you for recompense, poor as we are. There's a pair. Ships just up ahead.
Ships? But are we not still leagues from the shore?
Imagine happens when an icon of water gets angry.
Really, brother? Did you have to ask?
I can smell the sea.
It's not far now.
How will we reach the surge?
We'll follow the coastline north. There's a bridge that'll take us across to the cape.
Over here!
sea. Worries for his people.
This one may prove useful. Get him!
You said before that the child is bound within the surge. But you've yet to tell us how we're meant to reach him. I trust we won't have to hold our breath.
No. The surge wraps around the cape without engulfing it. If we continue to its tip, there is a path down to the seabed. And the wave's origin.
All right. It won't be the first dominant we've met at the bottom of the ocean. goblins. What are they doing in the Deadlands?
Look what they're carrying. I don't recall ever hearing of goblins using fallen relics as weapons.
Well, they certainly aren't welcoming gifts.
Clive, remember where we are.
No magic. Right. They're even uglier up close.
Over here!
You're right.
I'll manage.
Sick 'em! Go for it!
Let's hope that was the last of them.
Indeed. I'd almost forgotten what it was like to have to rely on steel alone.
Clive? Jill. You may want to see this.
What?
It was open when I found it.
Someone was in a hurry. 3 guesses as to who.
Then this must be their way into the tower.
There's only one way to find out. It seems somebody's woken this place up. The question is... who?
Well, I can tell you who it wasn't.
Unauthorized biometrics detected.
Someone's here.
Initializing security scan. Safety protocols disengaged.
I don't think that was someone, Clive. I think it was the tower.
Either way, it doesn't sound like we're welcome. Keep your guard up.
It's not much further now.
The path seems well kept. Do you and the villagers often come this way?
Only me. Once every new moon without fail. It is my duty both as village elder and Walyus's descendant.
But surely no one blames you for what happened. Why should you bear the responsibility alone?
You misunderstand. I do it because I want to. To show him that he isn't alone, and that there are still some of us who would see an end to his suffering. Suffering you will soon witness with your own eyes. The forest grows quickly here. Left unattended, the path would be reclaimed in a matter of moons.
Does the light point the way to the child?
It does indeed.
Look at all the droplets of water suspended in midair.
Where they have remained untouched by time for 80 summers.
It's not right.
No. It's not.
There. Up ahead. Down in the center. Follow me.
He's still primed.
I'll never forget my first priming. The fear. And I was old enough to understand what was happening. One can only imagine how this poor child felt.
He is the victim of an unforgivable sin. Committed by people who saw him as nothing but a means to an end. He must be so frightened.
Then I'll ease his burden.
You don't mean?
I'm not going to hurt him. Contrary to the tales, I don't go around killing dominants for no reason. What if I told you there was a way to remove Walyus's icon?
I tell you, you were a madman.
It's hard to believe, I know. But it can be done. Though, it isn't without its risks. Part of the icon remains no matter what.
So, it might still come to violence?
I don't know. It depends on the dominant. I've seen things end well, and I've seen things spiral out of control. But I do know one thing. If we turn our backs on this child, there will be no end to his suffering. And I think that a worse fate than the alternative. Don't you?
Very well. Do what you must. And whatever happens, I will own the consequences.
Don't be afraid, little one. Let me bear the weight.
What's it done?
I think so. I can feel the icon inside me. But something's wrong. He wasn't just afraid. He was angry. All right. Let's see what you've given me.
Leviathan!
Just a negative, but a formidable adversary nonetheless.
Over here!
Oh, look. It has friends. Is everyone all right?
He seems calmer now.
You said Walius was frozen in time. But he knew we were here. How?
I don't know. He's never reacted to anything or anyone. Until now.
The child has been bound for nigh on a century. If he has been conscious from the first, we must remove the seal at once.
It's not that simple. I wish it were, but... there's more to this tale. It would be better if I explained back at the village.
I see. Then let's return before it gets dark.
I'm sorry, Walius. I will make this right. So, part of Leviathan is inside you now, is it? Does it hurt?
No. Not anymore, anyway.
Good. Because I still have need of your strength. If you want to know the rest, we should head to the Witten Hall.
Of course.
Look there! The jury's not...
To understand the spell which binds Walius, you must first know who we are, and what drove my forebears to commit such an atrocity. This tapestry is our story, the one that brought us here. After generations of wandering, my people sought refuge in northeastern Storm, some 170 years ago. But in exchange for our safety, the Gregorian Church demanded we renounce our faith, and branded us heretics when we could not.
To be exterminated, as a lesson to others.
And so was it chronicled in the Imperial histories, for anything less would have made the Church seem weak. Yet a handful survived. The few who did fled north and west, and in doing so discovered two things that would forever shape our fates. The first was an old legend, revealing how to make your very own Mother Crystal.
I've heard that one before.
Yes, yet it gave them new hope, however false. Our ancestors convinced themselves that they could recreate the divine if they could only find a strong enough heart. A living being capable of channeling torrents of ether. And the heavens provided.
A dominant. Well, yes.
They'd stumbled across a nostrum in an ancient ruin, which they believed could provoke a sudden outpouring of a creature's ether. They meant to enrage his icon. Leviathan would have destroyed everything, had our people not made their second important discovery. A means to stop time itself.
Where did they find that? The Northerners had no such magics, or they would have used them.
When our ancestors first arrived, the land was uninhabited, save for an old witch who lived on the highest peak. Her body had been consumed by the curse, a cruel payment for her long years of service to the Northern Thanes. So desperate were they to prevent the fall of Drake's Eye, they'd forced her to devise a spell to stop time.
But Drake's eye did fall.
It did. When she finally perfected the necessary magics, it was already too late. As punishment for her failure, the Thanes exiled her to this forsaken place to live out the few days she had left. Knowing her suffering, our ancestors cared for her as best they could, and in return, she gifted them her spell. That even though she should die, her legacy might live on. So armed with both the knowledge of the ancients and the secrets of time, our ancestors settled upon an ambitious plan. They would create a new Mother Crystal, and enchant it that it might endure for all eternity. Thus would our people's wandering, our suffering, finally end, and prosperity visit us once more. And all it would require was the sacrifice of a single child. A small price to pay, or so they believed.
Another victim of man's blind reliance on the Mother Crystals. So we know the seal source. How do we break it and restore the flow of time?
Do you recall the Dome of Light on top of the cliffs to the west? Inside lie the ruins of an old temple. It was there that the witch built the Vare, a conduit of sorts that channels her remaining ether into the Surge. But it's been a long time since anyone set foot in the place. And now, there are others who claim it as their own.
Then we shall go prepared for a fight. That said, it may be best if one of us stays behind.
You think the village could be in danger?
We saw the ether flow from Wallius in all directions, but only encountered a single familiar. There will be more. And should even one make its way here, I doubt the walls could hold it back for long.
Then I shall stay. The Phoenix will see your people safe, tributary.
You have my thanks.
Very well. We should depart at once. I fear time may no longer be a luxury we can afford.
The Vare is not easy to find. We must first head north, and then west. Deeper into the forest.